Greetings, Venturoos!
Hi!
Welcome to episode 7 of a Very Venture Vodcast. We are going to be talking about self-medication today, which is episode 6 of the Venture Brothers. We like to keep it as confusing as possible. So, this episode was written by Jackson Publick, as if you couldn't tell, with all the wham bam and action and whatnot. And we just want to do a little disclaimer that obviously we will be talking about self-medication, so please don't be that one guy that would go tinkering on the internet without, watching the episode. So,
Or girl.
Right.
We also want to mention before we get started that we have a Twitter, and it is Very Venture Girls, GRLS. Mm-hmm. And we also started a blog.
We've been blogging!
Not on the live journal.
No. On the blog spot.
We've been mostly, for now, posting all of the Vodcast episodes, but we're going to get a lot of really cool stuff started on there very soon. We just wanted everything to get up and running, and so it shall be the home of many wondrous things.
And you made an amazing header for it that is worth the trip. So if you stick around to the end of the episode, you can see the URL and all the good stuff. But I'm just gonna call it out now. It's veryventurevodcast.blogspot.com, and it's pretty fabulous. And if you follow us on Twitter, we always update when we have new episodes, and pretty much whenever we have venture related thoughts during the day. And why wouldn't you want to get up on that?
Which is often.
So this was a special episode starring Seth Green, the Mac guy, John Hodgman.
Well, he's the PC guy.
Right, in the Mac commercials. And Patton Oswalt, who is, I knew him from King of Queens, and you knew him
from Ratatouille.
Right. And also Brendan Small, who's kind of like an Adult Swim whore, but he did home movies in Metalocalypse.
Well, he's done Johnny before.
Yeah, he has. You mean Action Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
that could so be taken out of context. He's done Johnny before.
And as James Urbaniak called it on the Twitter, he said this episode was a Nerds Ocean 11, which... Twinkle.
Love. By the way, James Urbaniak is so totally up in the Twitter sphere, and we kind of love it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what we've been doing without it, but now that we have a Twitter account, we're like, all James, all the time. Love it.
Well, I never understood what Twitter was for until now. I just didn't get why it was popular and why anyone was interested. But now, if it's not personal, I can see...
Yeah.
If it's something like this, it's like club. It's kind of like a club, and it's fun.
You always hear people like, oh, I went to the bathroom. I ate dinner. That's not what Twitter is about, by the way.
It's about...
social
marketing. / networking.
/ the Venture Brothers.
BTW, if you haven't seen John Hodgman's speech at the radio and TV correspondence dinner, it is nerd-tastic, and immediately... After watching this podcast, you must go and watch it and YouTube that because it is brilliant. And it's with Obama is there, and he calls him a nerd, and it's
great.
Probably one of the best speeches I've ever seen.
He talks about bridging the nerd jock divide.
Yeah, and it might be a little bit painful and close to home for you guys and us, so you should check it out.
So we've been hearing these rumors that the voice actors did this last episode live, this emergency live broadcast, and we can't confirm whether this is a hoax / joke that James Urbaniak has sort of put out there, or if it's the truth.
Pretty much all James Urbaniak.
We couldn't find it anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, but it was, there's twit pics and with his pink headphones, and we're just really not sure what's going on. And so we're hoping that if it's true, it might be an extra on the DVD.
I know. And so apparently, according to James, they had to do it. Do you like how I just put us on a first name basis?
Yeah. Because we're biffles.
We're biffles. So apparently they had to do 2 recordings for West and East Coast, and I don't understand how that's possible at all. But I don't know.
Well, I feel like if they would have done the East Coast, they would have recorded that stuff, and just put the recording on for the West Coast.
Well, he said that it was like a mistake or something. I don't know. I mean, it could be complete bull. It probably is, but I was confused by it.
I'm gonna hold out for the DVD.
I am holding out for the DVD. Oh my gosh, what a great extra. So actually in the episode, we find out that Dr. Venture finally gets some much needed professional help. And he joins a small therapy group for ex-boy adventurers. Yeah.
For a new adventure of healing.
Yeah. It's the same therapist. I thought it looked familiar. The same therapist that gives therapy
to the henchmen, 21 and 24.
To the henchman group, yeah.
When they, like, take a break from...
When the monarch's in jail, yeah.
Henching.
And in said group, there is an ex-Wonder Boy.
Oh, yes.
Who I thought was very interesting.
Had an eating disorder. He used to be Boy Wonder.
An eating disorder and abandonment issues.
Oh, right. And he used to be Boy Wonder. Work under Captain Sunshine.
So,
under him.
I was just gonna let that one gracefully slide by.
I brought it back up.
Yeah. We find out. I mean, that makes it interesting because remember Jackson Publick saying that that Captain Sunshine wasn't actually a pedophile. That kind of raises an interesting point.
I mean, he made an announcement about it, like Captain Sunshine is not a pedophile, just so everyone knows. Which was like, why is he even announcing this? I don't understand.
Well, his poor, sad, fat ex-Wonder Boy, Ginger. It's really sad for him. There was like a Hardy Boys spoof, which was Lance and Dale Hale. And
say that 10 times fast.
I'd rather not. And their only unsolved mystery is the very suspicious death of their father.
And they're also suspected of killing their father.
Right.
That's
why it's
maybe
suspicious.
why it's unsolved. And suspicious.
Also, crazy as ever, Action Johnny's there. It was really good to see him. And
not as cracked out as usual.
I know, I was going to say, I mean, he's as crazy, but he was a little bit calmer. Like, at least he wasn't shrieking violently, so... There was also Road Boy, who is a play off of Astro Boy, and that's all I can say about that, because what I know about Astro Boy could fill a thimble.
His reboot button is in his groin.
I'd rather not speak of it.
It was weird.
It seems private.
We find out that Jonas Venture Sr., was Rusty's therapist.
When he was a kid.
But not only was he Rusty's therapist, but he wasn't the most attentive of therapists.
Well.
Because he leaves while Rusty's having sharing time and, like, sneaks back in towards the end and is like, yeah,
Tell me about how ungrateful you are.
Yeah. So you were talking about how ungrateful you are that your father gives you all of these opportunities. And it's like, wow, the more we learn, the more it seems like Jonas was kind of a douche.
It makes me... This is the first time that I really connected it, where I really went, oh, you know what? Jonas is not really a nice person.
And no wonder Rusty Venture has
so messed up.
So many problems.
I guess I've never, which is weird, I always just assumed it was Rusty. And then this sort of thing makes you go, oh.
There's a reason.
Your dad is a jerk.
Well, and it also makes you realize, like, the dynamic between Rusty and Hank and Dean is so much more easier because it's like, wow, like, that's the nurturing you got as a child? No wonder you're not lovey-dovey with your boys.
We're talking about nurturing.
Oh, gosh. Feelings again!
Nurturing.
Really? Really?
It really brings it out in us. It's this show. But anyway, yeah, so, and I just, the native hand puppet was extremely funny. But the guitar, instrumental, and all the good, warm feelings that they were feeling was rudely interrupted by the therapist fighting the dust.
As Dr. Venture says, did I just kill premature ejaculation?
Did I just kill him? At this point...
Which is like, cat's out of the bag.
At this point, I wrote it down because it was so funny. You go, I just love that with this season, they're just going there. Everything they've always suspected, confirmed. And I was just like, taking notes, and I was just like, ready.